Hello friends and welcome to coaching classes by Ash. Today I'll be dealing with vested interests that have been provided in section 19 and section 20. So let's start our TPA, that is the Transfer of Property Act 1882. And yes, please subscribe my channel because I'm doing the sessions in continuation so that you people don't miss it. Now, for the law students who are preparing for their law exams and for the aspirants of judiciary, the very first thing that we all should know and should rectify it are the kinds of interest. They are usually asked. So the kinds of interest are vested interest that have been provided in your section 1920, contingent interest section 2122, conditional interest that is your precedent or condition precedent that have been provided in section 25, 26. Subsequent interest have been provided from section 29 to 34. Conditional limitation section 28 and accelerated interest section 27. Section 27 is also known as doctrine of acceleration. So it can be asked in both forms that what is accelerated interest or what is the doctrine of acceleration, so don't get confused. Now section 19. This is the bare language that has been provided on the slide. So if you people have your bare act, please open it to section 19 and read vested interest where on a transfer of property and interest therein is created in favor of a person without specifying the time when it is to take effect or in terms specifying that it is to take effect for with or on the happening of an event which must happen. Such interest is vested unless a contrary intention appears from the terms of the transfer. A vested interest is not defeated by the death of the transferee before he obtains possession. Explanation: an intention that an interest shall not be vested is not to be inferred merely from a provision whereby the enjoyment thereof is postponed, or whereby a prior interest in the same property is given or reserved to some other person, or whereby income arising from the property is directed to be accumulated until the time of enjoyment arrives, or from a provision that if a particular event shall happen, the interest shall pass to another person. That is on the happening of an event that is certain to happen. How? I'll give you the illustrations for that. So first thing that our section 19 provides that unless a contrary intention appears from the terms of the transfer, a person gets a vested interest when it is created in his favor. यानी कि जब तक आप ट्रांसफर जब आप कर रहे हो तो उसमें एक contrary intention दो, otherwise when the person will get the interest which would be vested, it can be in the following three cases without specifying the time when it is to take effect. For example, A transfers his property to B and he says, I am gifting you my property. So A gives his property to B, B gets a vested interest. That will be in your first point. That is without specifying the time when it is to take effect. Another example for your first point is that I transfer my property to you, you get the vested interest on the day I transfer my property to you by sale. Second is in terms specifying that it is to take effect forthwith. And third is in terms specifying that it is to take effect on the happening of an event which must happen. On the happening of the event which must happen. For example, A transfers his property to B for lifetime and then to C. C is a minor. So B will enjoy the property lifetime and then gift the property and not gift the property and then he'll transfer the property further to C. So A created the vested interest for C. It was not for B. B had to enjoy the property only for lifetime. So C will get the vested interest in the property. Now, three main characteristics of vested interest are: a vested interest does not depend on fulfillment of a condition and it creates a present and immediate right. Second, a vested interest is not defeated by the death of the transferee before obtaining possession. It will pass on to his heirs. Third, a vested interest is transferable as well as heritable, which has been provided in your case of Allocacy versus Zarponarian. You can watch the case or refer to the case. Unborn person also acquires a vested interest under section 20 of the TPA, which states that if an interest created for the benefit of unborn person, that is, he acquires upon his birth. So three main characteristics of vested interest are, you can pause the slide and note it down somewhere because it is really very important. The first is that it creates a present and immediate right. The second is a vested interest is not defeated by the death of the transferee before obtaining possession. And the third is a vested interest is transferable as well as heritable. If you people remember section 5 said that our transfer should be interval, that is from one living person to another living person, and the transfer can be in present or in future. So when the transfer will be in present, this will be your vested interest. And when the transfer will be on a future date, that will be your contingent interest. So when interest in a property transfers from one person to another without specifying the time of vesting, with an intention to vest it forthwith, or it is to take effect on the happening of an event which must happen. For example, as I said that A transfers, A sells his house to B. A sells his house to B. Now B has a vested right or vested interest. Okay. Then A transfers this property to B for B's lifetime and then to C. So C has vested interest. क्यों? B के पास vested interest क्यों नहीं है? क्योंकि A हमेशा से ये चाहता था कि C को प्रॉपर्टी मिले. उसने कभी B को एब्सोल्यूट राइट नहीं दिया कि I am transferring you my property full stop. नहीं, ऐसा नहीं था. A transfers his property to B for his lifetime and then to C. तो A का मेन इंटेंशन हमेशा से था कि मेरी प्रॉपर्टी जो है वो C को मिले. तो B उसको अपने लाइफ टाइम तक यूज करेगा, उसके बाद वो C को चली जाएगी. ठीक. Then another example let me give you. A says to B, A ने B से कहा, I give you my property which you can enjoy from January 17. A ने कहा मैं तुम्हें अपनी प्रॉपर्टी दे रहा हूँ जो कि तुम 17 जनवरी से इंजॉय करना स्टार्ट कर सकते हो. तो इसमें B का इंटरेस्ट वेस्टेड माना जाएगा क्योंकि 17 जनवरी आएगी जरूर और B को प्रॉपर्टी मिलेगी जरूर. ठीक है. तो हमारा जो कैरेक्टरिस्टिक था वो ये बोल रही थी कि इट मस्ट बी अ इवेंट दैट विल बी सर्टेन. ओके. तो इवेंट ध्यान रखिएगा सर्टेन होना चाहिए. जैसे कि एक और एग्जांपल लेते हैं. A says to B, I give you my property which you can enjoy after the death of C. ठीक. तो A ने B से कहा मैं तुम्हें अपनी प्रॉपर्टी दे सकता हूँ या दे दूंगा जो तुम एंजॉय करोगे, या मैं तुम्हें अपनी प्रॉपर्टी देता हूँ जो तुम एंजॉय करोगे जब C मर जाएगा. तो क्या यहाँ B को वेस्टेड इंटरेस्ट मिलेगा? बिल्कुल मिलेगा कि कभी ना कभी C मरेगा तो B को प्रॉपर्टी जाएगी. तो वैसे भी द पर्सन हु हैज टेकन बर्थ हैज टू डाई. तो ये तो है ही है एक इटर्नल ट्रूथ. तो एक सर्टेन इवेंट है दैट C विल डाई समडे एंड we will get the property. So that was our vested interest, and I hope vested interest is somewhat clear to you, and if not, if you have any questions, you can ask me in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to help you and as soon as possible. And section 19 and 20 dealt with the vested interest, and now I'll be taking your lesson for contingent interest, that is section 21. Okay, so section 19, friends, is important. It is really asked. So in your Bayer Acts or in your books, from whichever material you are studying, kindly take a pen and just mark it and write free and mains there, so that whenever you study from that book, you know that whenever you have to study section 19, it is important and it will be asked in your free and your mains. So that's all for today, I guess. And yeah, as I told you before, that subscribe the channel, because I'm doing the series, I'm doing the lessons in continuation and with the sections that I think are important and are asked in the judiciary examination, and for the law students also, you have the course, and the sections that I'm dealing with are embedded in your course too. So that's all for today, and please like and subscribe, and if you have any questions, you can ask me. And I have my mail provided also. You can ask me questions there also if you have any problem writing the questions directly in the comment section. So thank you, and have a good evening and a good night as well.